Welcome to Tooltech Geek. This is the Viperade VAK6. It is a knife with a flashlight and a lighter. So this is not very heavy, and it has its three functions. And the one I got, it comes with a charger with a crank, so you can recharge this flashlight and the lighter by turning a crank. I'll show you with the different functions. First, blade. So it has a very thin connection here to the knife, so it looks a little flimsy, and it is somewhat firm. It has a bit of give here, even when it's locked. So that's telling you it's not primarily high-end knife. However, people seem to like it. It's firm metal. The alloy is one that's easy to sharpen, which people that do survival stuff like to sharpen their own knives. If it requires too much tooling to sharpen, then it's not good for survival situation. Of course, if it's too soft, maybe it's not good either. So it's kind of a somewhat low-end alloy, and it has this button for locking and unlocking. So the safe way to operate it is like this. But if you are more of want to play with it, like some people do, you can push the button very hard and flick it, and it flicks open. However, it doesn't have bearings and such, so it's not very smooth to this type of fidgeting. So I would recommend to use just the thumb stud and then maybe push it, close it. The flashlight is pretty bright. It has only one intensity. It is brighter than the lowest setting of this light, I3T2, and it's maybe somewhat similar to a high setting, maybe even brighter, but this kind of gives you an idea. Probably comparable to a high setting of one of these small flashlights, if not more. It has a lens, pretty large glass lens here, which is probably not good because probably you lose a little bit of power by having so much glass in there. But that's what it is. So as a flashlight, there's a decent amount for maybe kind of short distances. And then you have the more unique feature, which is the lighter. So using the same button that operates the flashlight, when you open this, you can run this lighter, which I'm gonna demonstrate. So I'm going to push this button. This will create a plasma or arc. I'm gonna try to light this candle. So it works very well. Create this arc. So that's kind of it. And then I don't know how that does it know this is open. Here there is a magnet apparently, or something. So maybe there is a sensor here that will detect this, I'm guessing, the presence of this magnet or metal from the technology standpoint. And then the handles are made of this kind of plastic that mimics some of the composites that have either G10 or micarta, but it is not. I think it's just a simple resin, and it has some features that make it look a little bit like a gun in some ways. Not quite, but it has this aesthetics of a kind of militaristic. Moreover, in this holster, if you carry it, this probably could look somewhat like a gun, especially for somebody that doesn't know much about it. So that could be bad, or some people may like it. So this is a holster. It's a rubbery material. The pictures you cannot see how soft this is. I don't like too much these elastomers, elastic materials, because they may crack over time or get sticky. But maybe if this is a good quality, it can last a long time. And then it has this clip that if you push, you can open it, and this goes into a belt. And then it has a locking function, so even if you push it when it's locked, it doesn't open. It's kind of like an extra safety. And then here is the most gimmicky part of it, which is the manual charger. So that's a USB-C cable that will connect with the knife. By the way, this device was on Kickstarter about a year ago. There's very few videos about it, maybe, I don't know, half a dozen, not too many. And I think maybe more recently it came out to Amazon or Walmart. I think I ordered it from Walmart. The price was in the high 50s or $60 for all these, including the charger. There's a version without the charger. You can get just the knife. I think maybe, I don't know if it comes with a holster, but it's a little bit cheaper. So what about this charger? Does it work? Well, when I just got this, it came totally discharged, and I connected it and started to crank it. And when you crank it, there should be a light there that shows you it's charging. So you're supposed to charge at 120 RPM, so every second two, like 1, 2, 1, 2, a little more. So that will charge the battery, but it is very slow to charge manually. So in a survival situation, it could make sense to use this gadget. Although it's a bit bulky to carry around, but I guess maybe worth it to have a fire and light capability. It also comes with a cable, which you can just more easily charge it using a car charger or a wall charger or any USB. So that will make it easier to charge for normal circumstances. And in an emergency, there's no power. You have this option which works, but it takes a bit of work. I think it takes several minutes to get this for a few shots of the lighter or several minutes of the flashlight. So all in all, what do I think about this? It is a bit gimmicky, but very unique at the same time. I haven't seen too many things like that. There's a very few knives with flashlights, but they are not great. There is one that is high quality, as I posted about, and it's kind of expensive. So this is kind of in between, somewhat of a okay quality, not too flimsy. It has kind of good reviews. People have a bit of a mixed feeling that it needs some improvements, and I kind of agree. Something I don't like too much is this button. It's very small, so when you push it, it kind of hurts to use it. So for example, if you want to do this opening trick, it's hard to do because this button, it doesn't really have enough surface here to be comfortable to use. But in a pinch to unlock it, that's okay. So what do I think? I'm a little divided. I don't know if I want to recommend. For this money you can get probably better knife and better flashlight, and a lighter probably costs, I know, I think it costs 99 cents or something like that. So not a plasma lighter, but just a regular lighter. So I don't know if there is a lot of super value. The charger is kind of intriguing because this maybe be able to charge other things with this, but the crank is not the most efficient thing. I don't think. Something solar, for example, probably would be better. It could be interesting to see if this can be charged with solar panel. That would be interesting too. And then this is very large, bulky, and too tactical looking for me to carry this every day, but maybe in a backpack I'm a little more discreet. I probably would just take this charger and this, which is a lighter weight. Don't have all that space using by this holder, that doesn't do anything. So maybe carry is more compact and you have a little bit of a survival tool. There's on the other videos that people made, they show that you could basically take some wood and make these type of cuts. Then you can use it to catch fire. So it has a bit of at least an apparently survival function, but I think they should probably improve it somewhat, and at minimum make the button more comfortable to use. And then I don't know, flashlight is okay. Probably be good to have a low setting that will last longer, because in an emergency sometimes when you have a lot of light and sometimes a little, so something with two levels at minimum, kind of like these ones, low and high, that will be more useful, but that probably will increase the cost. And then, so yes, that's all I have to say. The build doesn't look the cheapest in the world, so that's kind of interesting. I thought this would be very kind of like a toy, but it is somewhat decent in terms of finish, which is good. So I think quality-wise, as companies in Viperade, they are pretty good. They make great pouches, and the multi-tools are a little less high-end, I suppose, but the pouches are tremendous. So in any case, this concludes my impressions of this multifunctional knife, flashlight, and lighter and hand generator. Thank you for watching.